reactions that you would have to something like that, the food would probably help for the most part. Kind of like I said, taking an antibiotic with food versus not. Um, Most of the antimicrobials, they probably will be a little bit better tolerated with food. You still might feel die-off symptoms from them. So, what could that be? I mean, that could be some mild nausea, maybe even intense nausea for some people.
That
Yep. Could
I'm
be.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That makes a lot of sense though, the nausea, because with the die off, because I've noticed some of that, and I've heard that from other people early on, to where
Mhm.
it's just part of like what you just said, like the die off symptoms, and you kind of want to try to minimize it. It's tolerable still, but yeah,
Yeah. Loose stools. Loose stools is a common one. The thing with die-off is that it tells you that there's something in there that should not be in there and it is dying.
yeah, yeah,
So I think that die-off shouldn't be viewed as bad necessarily. Yeah, I don't I don't want my client to be bedridden to the point where they're going to like lose their job because they can't go to work.
right,
But if they can tolerate some level of die off, I would prefer that we don't back it off in a sense. It just tells us that something is working. Now, there might be a point of diminishing return where if it's so stressful for them that they're like stressed out that they can't make it to the bathroom or something, that's not a good trade off. We can reduce the intensity of the die off. Besides taking things with food, we can just take less of it. We can also rotate things. If we're doing protocols that require 3 or 4 different things, maybe we rotate them on a weekly basis, or we rotate. People do it all kinds of different ways, but maybe we do half of them for the first 6 weeks and half of them for the second 6 weeks. Heck, I've even had people do cyclical where they do like 3 days on, 1 day off.
yeah,
And there's so many ways that you can reduce the intensity of die off. But the takeaway is that tolerate it if you can. It's it's part of what is telling you that it's working.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, there are some common over the counter things that people take that they maybe don't realize have some antimicrobial effects. Like the berberine is probably the most common.